Morning. Thanks for joining us for the News 12 FastCast. I'm Nick Proto. 7:30 here on our Wednesday, December 18th. Today, a federal court judge will decide if a Fort Eisenhower shooting suspect will remain in jail or walk free as he awaits trial. Authorities say 25-year-old National Guardsman Travian Landry shot and killed Army Reservist Andre Stewart Jr. As the investigation continues to unfold, Stewart's family is talking about the type of person he was. They describe him as a gentle person who was full of faith. He was known for his larger-than-life personality and his hunger for success. He had a second career in the works with hopes to build generational wealth for his family. His cousin, Deborah Garner, tells us he was busy learning real estate while also building a legacy in the military. Garner says they're relying on faith to get them through the first holiday season without them. It's especially hard because Stewart lost his dad when he was 5, and now he leaves behind a 5-year-old son.
The legacy that he has left has been one of putting his family first, putting his child first, really being passionate about helping and protecting his family, his mother, his sisters, and particularly women. He had a heart for protection.
His family says they want the world to remember him as someone who was full of life and joyful. Burke County deputies need your help finding this 22-year-old on your screen. They accuse Dylan Dixon of being involved in a drive-by shooting. They also say he faces 3 counts of aggravated assault. If you have any information regarding him or the case, call the Burke County Sheriff's Office. That number is on your screen, 706-554-2133. The future of Wagner's fire department is still up in the air. Last night, Aiken County Council members held a discussion about a proposal to separate the fire department from town leadership. The fire department presented this proposed ordinance to the Wagner Town Council earlier this month. It had to pass a second reading to go to Aiken County Council. No decisions have been made yet, but we did check in with a neighbor for their thoughts on this.
This just doesn't sit well with me. You know, as a resident of the unincorporated area of Fire District 16, and I have been for 12 years. Previously, I lived in the Hollow Creek Fire District 19. I've seen how the fire departments operate, that surround us. I would, as a resident, prefer to have them redraw the lines for the fire districts, and those of us in the incorporated district of the incorporated area of District 16.
City Council will meet next month to talk about the proposal some more. The city of Aiken takes a big step towards their future. They held a groundbreaking ceremony yesterday for a new water treatment plant. That may not sound appealing, but it's a move leaders consider important. The $70 million project expects to help supply all of the drinking water in the city and beyond. Almost all of it comes from Shaw's Creek water treatment plant right now. The city manager explained why it's an essential part of growth.
Aiken is a very attractive place for people to move to from all parts of the country, whether to live here or to locate a business or an industry. The ability to provide needed capacity is going to be critical.
An upgrade is kind of needed because the current facility is starting to show its age. That new facility hopes to allow the city to keep up with the growth. Georgia Emergency Management is launching its first temporary shelter program for Hurricane Helene survivors. The program, called Hearts Georgia, helps provide temporary shelter for those with homes damaged or destroyed from the storm. This is for the 61 counties who qualify for FEMA's public assistance. You can apply on GEMA's website for help. Heads up, if you live in Columbia County, the Evans FEMA Disaster Recovery Center will shut its doors permanently at 7 p.m. Friday. If you go to the Disaster Recovery Center locator, you'll see that note. Until then, you can get help at the center in Columbia County from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. today, tomorrow, and Friday. That's over on Ronald Reagan Drive. No word on why that center is officially closing. The Richmond County school system is looking forward to new beginnings as it prepares to enter the new year with an interim superintendent. Current superintendent Dr. Kenneth Bradshaw said farewell at the board meeting last night before he resigns. Dr. Bradshaw served more than 5 years in the driver's seat for Richmond County schools.
Well, it's never really goodbye. I'm going to be a part of this community. I look forward to coming back, supporting our teachers and our students. We've done so many wonderful things. I feel like I'm part of the fabric of the community.
Dr. Bradshaw says he's taking a step back to be closer to his family in the Atlanta area. His last day in office is December 31st. City of Augusta leaders provided updates on Hurricane Helene recovery last night. They held the second of 3 town hall meetings. Mayor Johnson says if you need help cleaning your property, call 311 as crews will be in the area until February to help. Commissioner Sean Frantum gave an update saying there will be no debris pickup from December 22nd until January 2nd. Eisenhower Park is being phased out as a debris site as well. He also says the city's working with telecom companies to pick up loose wires. Lastly, city officials mentioned starting January 1st, you'll pay credit card fees on water bills, and the water rate will increase by 4.5% each year. The mayor and commissioners are hosting another Hurricane Helene recovery town hall today. There will be a reception at 5 o'clock for commissioners, and the town hall is from 6 to 8 at the municipal building. Progress at the state line right outside our station. GDOT says it's almost at the end of the project since it started back in 2019. The I-20 Savannah Bridge project has caused traffic delays and some headaches behind the wheel. Crews faced several setbacks along the way, including COVID.
There were some factors out of control of the contractor, just dealing with the start of the pandemic and the supply chain issues. Also, they ran into some issues in the water, actually in the Savannah River, how they were able to manage that water flow to actually begin the rebuild of the bridges. So that was some delay.
You're still going to find some traffic cones because of a couple tasks left to do. The goal is to finish around January or February. That's it for the news side of things this morning. Let's send it over to First Alert meteorologist Tim Strong on a foggy start to our Wednesday.
Right you are. Very foggy. In fact, the entire two-state under a dense fog advisory still for a couple of hours, 9 to 10 a.m. for all of Georgia and South Carolina. Looking at numbers that really have not gotten any better since very early this morning and a little after midnight. If you're going to be on I-20, you're going to have fog into Atlanta and all the way into Columbia. 26 down to Charleston, I-16, I-95, 85 in the upstate, all covered with dense fog, quarter to a half-mile visibility. Well, now that at least we have daylight, we can see a little bit better out there across the Savannah River Bridge, but just keep in mind, you can't really see much more than about a quarter mile in front of you here. We have temperatures that have been as cool as the upper 40s. A lot of them settled into some low 50s between Washington, Georgia, up towards the Thurman Dam, 53 there, and Saluda. And you come farther south and you stay in the 60s. Well, we still have a day in the 70s before that cooling trend starts taking over. Tomorrow afternoon and Friday will become a little more seasonal and closer to average. But it's all about the really hazardous fog this morning. We might even have a little bit tomorrow morning, too. But notice the drop. The temperatures are coming down lower to mid 60s and then heading down to just about 60 at best for Friday. Let's go the rest of the day. Midday into 5. Now we're going to keep in mind the chance for an isolated shower or rumble of thunder today. Passing thunderstorm possible really anytime after 3 into the evening hours. 60s and 70s hold steady. Morning lows will be in the 50s tomorrow. And we've got a dry Thursday planner. And that wedge may set up and keep that kind of flow coming in with cloud cover a little bit more into South Carolina than Georgia counties. But mid 60s is close to seasonal to above average. 40s begin to drop in by early Friday morning. And we'll have clearing skies into Friday afternoon. Finishing off sunshine, cooler, but really cold air coming in. And winter officially begins on Saturday, and it certainly will feel like it. Mornings are in the mid-20s to about 30 degrees and highs 46 to 52 as we go into Christmas.